Alrighty, my name is Jeanna Bohanon. I've been a demonstrator for almost 10 years. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I've been stamping for about 12 years. I served sounds bad. I had the honor of being on the artisan design team in 2012 and 2013. So, and see, there's my fan club. So whenever I go through the catalog, the first thing I see is the samples, being as that I'm kind of drawn to the art. And our concept artists do such an amazing job. So it's kind of hard to top that sometimes. But one of the first items I fell in love with was the Mini Treat Bag Thinlit dies. And when I first looked at it, I was like, wow, $40. You know, that's an expensive die to make treat bags. And then I realized how much came in it and how much I could do with it. And suddenly it's probably one of the best values I've ever purchased from the catalog. So I wanted to show you exactly how many pieces that you get. You get a ton. So it comes with the large piece and the small piece. And if you've already done the bag over here, you've gotten to play with it a little bit. It comes with some border pieces. It comes with a bow, a heart, a star, these two little words, the little banner, and then this piece that kind of makes it look like a washi tape piece. So I think I've covered all of the dies in my projects for you today. But let me just go ahead and show you a few things that I've done with it. Okay. So if you've only done the bag over here and you haven't played with the die itself, this is how it comes. You're going to cut two pieces, and you do get a little bit more if you're using a 12 by 12 piece, because you can cut at least two full ones from the 12 by 12 piece if you fit it here. Kind of a 6 by 6 square will let you cut. So it already comes with the score lines. So putting it together is really quick and easy. Just fold on the score lines. And I'm a green glue junkie. So Jill was telling me I should show you. I'm also kind of impatient, and I don't like waiting for my green glue because, you know, precious moments. So I keep mine uncapped upside down in this little holder on my desk. It's kind of gross on the inside, but I just used a little yogurt cup and put some feet on the bottom so that I constantly have it ready to go. It makes it easy, and of course I had to make it cute, so. I couldn't just leave like Activia on my desk. So, but I put everything together with green glue, so, and you really do just need a little bit. So for me, putting it together, should have folded that up first. All right. Okay. The only thing you want to make sure is if you're cutting it with designer series paper that you lay the die the same direction each time. Ask me how I know. My girls give me a hard time. It doesn't look like Gina's. Well, that's because you don't see my trash can. So, and then I line it up here, but you line it up at the teeth so it's even. And then just kind of slide it over. And just like Cindy was saying earlier, that green glue gives you that moment to put it together. Okay. So, lots of glue. Okay. And that quick. So if you just need something quick and simple and easy, it's quick and adorable bag. There you go. About as simple as it gets. Okay. But there's so many other pieces. So I was trying to figure out what I could do with some of the other pieces, and I was looking at the two smaller pieces, and I thought, well, I could cut it off and make a bookmark, or I could make a little bookmark holder. So I took our tag punch, and you do have to cut it down a little bit smaller than 2 inches to get it to fit. And I made a little pouch for a bookmark, which I thought would make it just a nice little gift. You could also put pencils, pixie sticks, emery boards, Twizzlers, whatever you want as a treat in the inside. So all I did on that was just take the two smaller pieces. I cut two of the smaller piece. And this is about as easy as it gets. Okay. Now your teeth, I guess at the top, they don't line up exactly because it's a cornered edge, but it was something I figured I could live with. And I tell my girls, if somebody's gonna be like, well, the teeth don't match up at the top, then you can take it back. because really, if they don't say what a lovely gift first, just take it back. A little bit of glue on the bottom. And on the little glue on the other edge, and just push it together, and then you've got your little pouch. And I just thought they were cute and sweet and something fun to work with. So I also used on this one the banner die and the For You, which I'm using a ton on like everything because it's like the perfect sentiment. Okay. So to embellish the main bag just a little bit more, I used like almost all of the dies in there. The banner piece makes a cute, trendy little tag piece if you'd like. It's fitted to go across the bag so that you can cut out of the bag also. Let me show you this one. So you can cut across the bag before you assemble your bag. And then I wanted the gold to show through. So I just made a little pocket for the inside. I used that little washi tape piece as a tag. So I could just pull it out, and then you could write your sentiment on the inside and use it kind of like as a fancy envelope. Okay, or if you wanted to do an invitation, that would be like adorable. Okay, so again, it comes with so many little pieces. The hearts here are the negative part that I punched out from the heart strip, if that makes sense. So it gives you stars and hearts and little circles. So, okay. Oh, that was too easy. So here's another basic bag. I put M&Ms in it, tied it with a little ribbon, tied the ribbon closed kind of like we did at the card back there where we used the brad, just used a little bit of twine at the top, added the heart, embossed it. And these would make adorable favors for any party or shower. And you can theme them for anything. I kind of ran with the lullaby paper this time just because I like the colors. They're so perfect for spring. Okay. So now we did a box over here, or we're doing the bag box over here. And so this is the one I made. And I did mine a little bit different. Not that one way is right or wrong. I know me, and I know that I am not good at remembering dimensions and things like that. So I did mine a little different. And I went ahead and put my directions on here. So what I did was I took my bag, and one time I used my Simply Scored, and one time I used my regular Stampin' Up trimmer. And I went, okay, well, 2 little teeth, that looks good. And I scored a line here. And then I thought, oh, I need to make a gusset. And I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I counted over 5 little teeth at the bottom of the teeth, and I scored about halfway. Okay. So I knew it'd be easier for me to remember that. So I scored those, and then I made myself a little bottom piece, and it's kind of hard to see the score lines on here. So I cut it to 1 5/8 by 4 1/8, and I'll set all of these out for the display. And then I scored them at 1 1/4 inch in. Okay, I made 2 of them, so you have 2 pieces. I embossed mine, and you can kind of wiggle and manipulate. What I did to get it to emboss, because it doesn't fit well, is I used the smaller side of the folder because the design goes more to the edge. I lined it up with the bottom, and then I just folded this over. One side is a little bit deeper embossed than the other, but you can't really notice. And again, if somebody notices, you take it back. No. So once you do that, and then to put it together, I went ahead and pre-wiggled. After you score, just like on the one over here, you want to cut off your top part. Really? Okay. And I eyeballed it. I'm not a perfectionist, I just try to make it look like I am. So So to put it together, I found it easiest to line it up this way. Okay. And then when I put my bottom on, just added my glue this way. Like this. This way I could hide all my inner workings. Okay. So you get how this would work. You would just keep gluing it this way, and then you glue this last side together. Okay. And then that's how your box would go together. So it just leaves it a little closed at the bottom. So there's a couple of ways that you can do that. So, and then I went ahead and just continued to embellish with some of the designer paper and the words from the die. So, and and then Jill also told me, thank you. And then Jill also told me, because she caught me, I had all my projects in this. And so basically all this is, because I always looking for found organizing things like my yogurt cup. This is my paper pumpkin box. Okay, and watch, they just do this. Well, not that hard. So they just come apart that easy. They're not really glued together. So then you can take and use it for organizing in your stamp room or sending out your packages or anything like. You send out the cute little stuff that you just made. So, okay, and I have one more project using the die. And I love mini albums because big albums intimidate me, but I can do little albums. So using the bag die, I just made them like the regular bag, the regular treat bags, and I made a whole bunch of them. I used some out of the regular cardstock and some out of the designer paper. And somebody I know is gonna have a baby. So I'm gonna give this to them. I used, the letters are the Simply Pressed clay and the new alphanumeric mold. One tip I found was I make myself like a little, like a snake out of the clay and then push it in. Makes it a little bit easier, and then I find it best when I do stick it in the freezer for a few minutes before I pop it out. So just something you can do. And then I made little inserts for journaling or more pictures or, you know, those little mementos. And then for the tab, again, I just used that little washi tape piece. So there's a ton of versatility in this, and I probably could have created, I don't know, probably 5, 10, 12, 15 more projects. My mind was going faster than the time was allowed. Actually, the clock was going faster than I needed it to. But there's just so much that you can do with it, and I think it's a really, you'll find that if it's something that you invest in, it's a really, really good value. So.